1 in 22 applicants gets the offer. You are the one. At 22, you're fixing bugs nobody else wants to touch. At 28, you're helping decide what hundreds of millions of people see every day. At 35, you're deciding who gets promoted into the room you once dreamed of entering. And by 45, you realize nobody ever tells you what climbing this ladder actually costs. This is your life inside big tech. Level 1, the junior developer. You are 22, maybe 23. The offer letter arrives on a Tuesday. $115,000 base salary, a $30,000 signing bonus, stock options that look life-changing until you realize they vest over 4 years. For one night, you feel rich. Then you look up rent prices. Suddenly, the salary feels smaller. Your apartment is tiny. Your furniture is cheap. Your monitor costs more than your couch. But none of that matters right now. Tomorrow is your first day at one of the biggest tech companies in the world. You walk into orientation carrying a backpack and imposter syndrome. Everyone around you sounds smarter, faster, more confident. You open the code base for the first time and immediately realize something terrifying. Nobody truly understands all of it. Your first assignment is a small bug fix. The bug exists inside a service connected to 3 other services. You spend 4 days just understanding what the code is supposed to do. At 9:13 p.m., your senior engineer reviews your pull request. 7 comments. You fix all 7. The PR merges. Nobody celebrates. Then you notice a Slack message. Nice catch. It's the first moment you feel like maybe you belong here. The first year is survival. You attend stand-ups. You read documentation. You ask dumb questions. Then fewer dumb questions. Then smarter questions. You start learning the hidden rule of tech companies. The people who survive are not always the smartest. They're the people who can keep learning without breaking. Your compensation climbs toward $170,000 after stock refreshes. Your parents think you've made it. You still eat instant noodles during deployment week. Level 2, the mid-level engineer. You are 24. Your total compensation crosses $200,000. The number feels unreal, but your responsibilities feel even more unreal. You no longer own tickets. You own features, entire systems, things millions of users interact with every day. You write design documents now. Senior engineers leave comments that quietly destroy your confidence. One rewrites your architecture proposal entirely. You hate it for 10 minutes, then realize their version is better. This is where the real pressure begins. The on-call rotation. 1 week every month, your phone stays on beside your bed. At 2:17 a.m., production goes down. Payment services fail. Transactions start returning errors. Your heart races before your brain does. You jump onto your laptop, check logs, restart services, message your team. The fix takes 11 minutes. You don't fall back asleep for 4 hours. Nobody outside tech understands this part. The anxiety, the invisible pressure, the constant awareness that one mistake could affect millions of people. Recruiters start messaging you. Series B startup. Founding engineer opportunity. Potential upside. You open the equity calculator at midnight. In one scenario, you retire at 35. In the other 4, the company dies. You close the tab. You stay where you are. Level 3, the senior engineer. You are 26. Total compensation approaches $300,000. You finally feel respected. Junior engineers come to you before checking the documentation. You review pull requests. You leave 3 comments now instead of 7. Senior engineer sounds impressive, but the work changes completely. You spend less time building, more time deciding. You sit in architecture meetings debating systems that won't launch for another year. Every decision becomes a trade-off. Faster shipping, or long-term scalability, simple architecture, or future-proof complexity. There are no perfect answers anymore, only expensive ones. This is also the first time you notice something strange. The people above you aren't necessarily better coders. They just understand bigger systems. You start attending meetings outside your team, cross-team collaboration, platform discussions. infrastructure planning. You begin seeing the company as one giant machine instead of isolated code. And once you see the machine, you can't unsee it. Level 4, the staff engineer. You are 30. Total compensation reaches roughly $420,000. The salary is incredible. You stopped feeling excited about money 18 months ago. Staff engineers are different. They don't own features, they own direction. 6 teams depend on systems your team maintains. You are the person everyone calls when something breaks between those teams. Not because you're their manager, because you understand the entire map. This is where tech careers become psychological. You spend months planning systems that may not fully launch for 2 years. You write 40-slide technical presentations.
The CEO approves them in 12 minutes.
And you spend 18 months making them real. You start waking up in the middle of the night thinking about infrastructure, databases, latency, scaling bottlenecks. Your laptop closes, your brain doesn't. At this level, work follows you home, quietly, constantly. You begin asking yourself a dangerous question. Who are you without this company? You never fully answer it. Level 5, the engineering manager. You never planned to become a manager. Almost nobody does. Your director calls you into a glass meeting room. A team needs leadership. The engineers trust you. You say you'll think about it. You already know you're saying yes. You are 32. Your compensation sits around $350,000. But for the first time in your career, you stop building things. That transition hurts more than expected. Your days become meetings, performance reviews, hiring discussions, roadmaps, deadlines. You become the translator between product managers, executives, and exhausted engineers. One of your engineers starts underperforming, missed deadlines, weak communication, repeated mistakes. You defend them at first, then HR gets involved. Then you're sitting in a room discussing a performance improvement plan for someone you once recommended for promotion. Nobody prepares you for this part, the emotional weight of management. One Sunday afternoon, you open your laptop and write code for fun, just to remember what it felt like. Level 6, the director of engineering. You are 35. 40 engineers exist underneath your organization. You manage managers now. This changes everything. Your decisions no longer affect projects, they affect people who affect projects. One wrong leadership decision can slow an entire department for months. You begin studying personalities as much as technology. Who works well together, who burns out quietly, who wants promotion, who should never lead a team. You walk through the office intentionally. You learn names, you eat lunch with random teams, people describe you as approachable. You quietly realize the culture was worse than leadership thought. This level becomes politics, not toxic politics, organizational politics, influence, timing, executive alignment, resource negotiation. You start understanding something uncomfortable. The higher you climb, the less your success depends on technical skill, and the more it depends on human behavior. Level 7, the VP of engineering. You are 38. Compensation crosses $800,000 in a strong year. Most of it is equity. Your life now depends partially on stock price fluctuations. You stop checking social media, you start checking market reactions. At this level, your job is no longer coding, it's strategy. You decide what the company should build 2 years from now. Board meetings replace sprint meetings. Investors replace engineers. Every sentence matters. A board member questions infrastructure spending during a quarterly review. You defend the decision calmly. Internally, your heart rate is exploding. The meeting ends. Slack notifications begin instantly. The pressure never pauses. The CEO calls one Thursday afternoon. He may be leaving. He asks if you're ready. You think about the question for 4 straight days because you finally understand something. Every level above this one costs more than money can fully repay. Level 8, the CEO. You are 45. Your compensation ranges from $10 million to $50 million depending on stock performance. The number stopped feeling real years ago. At this level, your job is no longer engineering. Your job is the future. Investors, acquisitions, layoffs, product direction, public pressure. Every decision affects thousands of employees and millions of users. The company's success becomes tied to your name. If the stock rises, people call you a genius. If it crashes, they call you a failure. You wake up before sunrise, checking earnings reports before brushing your teeth. Your calendar is full for the next 6 months. Your phone never truly stops vibrating. You spend more time talking to shareholders than engineers. And one night, sitting alone in a silent penthouse overlooking the city, you remember being 22 years old, sitting at a standing desk, panicking quietly over your very first pull request, back when success still felt simple. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Isaac Explains for more animated documentaries about careers, money, power, and the hidden systems shaping modern life.